A little while back, I explored animating my two 3D characters that are the main subjects of my current film project using my mocap suit from Rococo. I created this time-lapse animation where the suit really saved me, as I could generate hundreds of poses for my characters in just one long motion capture recording. Now, recently over on my Patreon page, I posted two long format videos where I experimented a bit more with this tool to see if I could use it for other shots in this film as well. My film contains quite a few dialogue scenes and shots of my characters reacting and basically acting. A lot of these shots will pretty much be static cameras that frame the face or upper body of my subjects, and then they might animate between different head positions and facial expressions. So nothing crazy, but more focused on acting and expressing an emotion from my characters. If you've followed along from my previous videos, you know that the style I'm going for leans more towards 2D than 3D for this film. But since I have created my two characters in 3D as well, and made them look relatively close to my 2D versions, I intend to use these to my advantage. So my thought was, can I act out the more dialogue and reaction heavy scenes from my script, record it as mocap data using the Rococo suit, apply it to my 3D geezers here, and then be able to compose my shots from those recordings. Basically use this suit as a way to create animatic shots that could then inform my final animation. Having the option to move the camera in a 3D space allows me to try out the framing of these shots really easily. I can quickly make several versions and test them out in my edit and really find the right one. I don't intend to render the 3D characters as they are here, as they just don't match the look I'm going for. But they are perfectly on model with my character design, so they are the closest reference I can get in a 3D space. For references, I sometimes film myself acting out the type of movements I'm looking for, and that can be super useful. But if I just need a head turn or a small gestural movement, for example, while my character is conversing, then these 3D versions could really come in handy. My 3D characters are quite basic and can't emote or anything, so all of the acting will have to be done in 2D now. Using my recorded data from the mocap suit applied to my 3D characters, I was able to set up these two animatic shots, which I know I needed for a specific sequence. If you want a deeper look at all of this, I have an hour-long video series on my Patreon page, which goes into more details. There are also plenty more videos over there if you want to know more about my workflows in animation, 2D and 3D and background painting and so on. You will find a link to that in the description below this video. These two shots follow a sequence where my climber falls off the climb he's working on. And first we get the second character's reaction, followed by a shot of the climber's reaction back. Now, to convert these into the look I am after, I took a few frames from each of these and brought those into Photoshop. Here I could draw on top of the animatic frames and get all the key poses that I recorded. I don't want to roto the full mocap animation, as that will give a certain look that I'm not after. I'd rather get solid keyframes out of this and then hand animate the in-betweens to match the 2D style better. But having these 3D models keeps my drawings very consistent. Some purists out there will be livid from seeing me do this, but I'm all for using any method that helps me get to my end goal. Now I can really focus on the facial expressions of my two guys and make sure they transport the emotions that I'm after. I want the guy with the man bun here to first look up and then give a cheeky smile to the other climber. The guy seated, the one who just climbed should then look back and raise his eyebrows, confirming that this might have been harder than what they had expected, as he fell off the first move of this boulder problem. This probably makes no sense to you if this is the first video you see from me, but I'm creating a film about rock climbing here, and this is just a small section of the bigger picture. Make sure to binge through my older videos if you want a bit more context. Having in between the animation for both shots, I got to a place where I was happy with how it played back. I then went on to color and shade the frames, which will give them their final look. I'm excited to use this method for more shots like this in the film. It doesn't really work for focused shots on climbing, as that requires really intricate body positions, and that's not really the biggest strength of this mocap suit. But I could easily create a lot of animatic renders quickly, which would allow me to see bigger portions of my film before committing to the final animations. These guys will need some backgrounds painted as well, but I'll save that for another day. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out the full thing over on Patreon. We also got a Discord server over there, which all my Patreons can access, and where we keep each other updated on what we're working on and sharing methods and inspiration. So thanks to everyone who's supporting me over there. Subscribe here on YouTube, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.